Good morning. Welcome to the open house. Good morning, Tomato. I am doing great. I hope you're doing well. Hey, One-Liner. Hi. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. I have a fun show planned. We'll see what the market gives us and we will react. We have consumer confidence and jolts at 10 a.m., which could jolt the market. Hey, Spaceball. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you are well. We have Bitcoin on an absolute tear this morning. I officially get started in 3 minutes. I jumped on early because, man, it's been a while since I've been on at 6:30 my time. Hey, 90-bit Evan. How are you? Watching the news channel right now. Hey, Mississippi Matt. I am very fond of Mississippi. Hey, Alnick. Hey, Shake and Bake. I'm assuming you're on this side of the world now. Bitcoin had a big break over 70,000 last night. 71,980 is the next resistance. This is such a beautiful pattern. I call this the trampoline pattern. It's kind of like you take a running start and we have a squeeze that's firing bullish on the weekly on Bitcoin. And on the squeeze pattern, when you fire bullishly, you typically, not always, have 6 to 8 bars of continuation. So in this case, it's a weekly chart firing bullish. So we have 1, 2, these little turquoise histograms here, firing bullish. So on average, we have 6 to 8 weeks of bullish continuation and follow through. So we will see if this actually plays out. You can see here we fired bullish. We had about, what is that? We had about 8 bars of bullishness. It's been a while since we've had a big squeeze like this. Actually, I don't see one this long. So that is very bullish for Bitcoin bulls, and you would be looking for back burners to trade. Hey, Paul. Not at this moment. Paul is asking, are we planning to restart the morning pregame videos? So I'm sure you've heard the hurricane hit Asheville, and we have several of our key members that are not members, team members of Chart Guys, other Chart Guys, Dan and Joey, that got hit by the hurricane, and it impacted our coverage and their ability to have internet and water and simple things. So we had to move away from the pregame show so we could make our coverage a priority for the members. We will start it back up next year in a limited way. Western North Carolina. It sounds amazing. You're going to Florida? That's awesome. Hey, Mal, you're tardy. Right lines. No, this is not a cup and handle. It's definitely, I like to call this the trampoline pattern, but it is not a cup and handle. A cup and handle, you want to see, let's see. You want to see that rounded pattern. A cup and handle, a perfect, well, is there such a thing as perfect? Maybe. But an ideal cup and handle is what happened here on gold on the monthly, the 12-month, the yearly, where we had this rounded bottom and then we had the flag. Typically, you don't want an upper wick on a flag. You want only lower wicks of bulls buying the dip, but that was a nice cup and handle. Pfizer had one back here. I thought it was on the, oh well, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of someone else who had, what is that software one? software ETF. Nope, that's not it. There's one that starts with an I. It has a great cup and handle. IGV. This is a beautiful cup and handle. On the monthly, and we broke bull. This is a software ETF. Does it have enough volume to trade? Yes, it does. Hey, Lasmar Lewis. I'm looking forward to this too. Hey, Dan, how are ya? Hey, Sir Fernando. Hey, Paula. Hey, Tess, I've missed you. Tomato, a perfect example of, again, I shouldn't say perfect. Got to get that out of my vocabulary today. So right now, Bitcoin has had such a huge move. This is a great back burner opportunity waiting for 5 and 15-minute oversold conditions. So Bitcoin, we fired bullishly, and I would be waiting for 5-minute oversold conditions, but I don't just jump in. I wait for support. And just for example's sake, let's say we got 5-minute oversold in the 70,900 range. I'd be playing off a 70,781, and then I wait for a shorter term time frame trend change, like on the 2-minute for a long. And if you can't trade Bitcoin on Coinbase, let's say you don't have an account, IBIT is an ETF that you can trade in. Typically, I don't know about your broker, you can trade inside your broker platform, and there are no fees associated with it, typically for American brokerage platforms. Many blessings to you, Tess. Hey, Jenny. How are ya? Hey, Will. Y'all ready to get started? It's 6:33. So, good morning. Welcome to the open house. This is something that we do once a month, so you can take a look behind the curtains and see what we do for the members. So typically our market open show starts at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, where I take the members through what I'm looking for, and we go through the indices, commodities, the high beta names, and then I say, okay, here are the plays I'm looking at. And then I would say 80% of the time I'm live trading if I find a setup, and then I announce that trade. Just an FYI, we have a 12-second delay. So if I say I'm entering something, you're going to hear that 12 seconds later. So plan accordingly. And as always, I don't recommend sizing up. Oh, well, Lori took this trade. Anything can happen with a trade. So size appropriately for your account and your risk management profile. And make sure the trade works for you. Is this something you would take? If it's not a trade that you would take, then say bye-bye. Just smile and wave. Smile and wave. JOMO, joy of missing out. Hey, not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. Great name. All right, let's look at the indices and see what's going on. All right. So looking at the daily chart, we have our daily inside bar from yesterday breaking bear. So we have support at 58.01. 58.01, we have support. On the weekly, this could be a bull flag. Typically on our bull flags, we don't want elevated bear volume, so that's not ideal for this candle. However, I would still say this is healthy on the weekly. On the daily, we are losing the 12 EMA. We have jolts today and consumer confidence. Tomorrow, we have ADP non-farm payrolls at 8:15, and then we have GDP at 8:30. Thursday, we have jobless claims, and we have PCE, which is very important. And then Friday, we have non-farm payrolls. And then on top of that, if that wasn't enough, today after hours, we have AMD and Google and Snap, Visa. We have lots of our earnings after hours. Then tomorrow, we have Microsoft and Meta. And Friday, we have Amazon and Apple. This is the equivalent of the Super Bowl week for earnings. So this is an important week, and it could and should impact the market. In addition to the economic events, the only thing that would make this week even more important for economic data is if we had a FOMC decision. Speaking of FOMC decisions, we have that next Thursday. Typically that's on a Wednesday. This month or this 6-week period, we have it on a Thursday because of the election next Tuesday. Hi. All right, let's look at charts. Back to charts. So on ES, on SPY, we are maintaining this gap down here. 579.89 is the current price, and our low of yesterday was 580.52. So we are gapping down on SPY. You can really see it clearly here. High, higher low, lower high. Now, can we get a higher low compared to 577.55 or 578.08 if you're going to use regular trading hours? Let's see. Support, yeah, 578.08. So we are looking for a potential hourly, actually let's say 4 hour, it's cleaner, 4 hour higher low. NASDAQ, this is what I drew yesterday morning. We were looking for a 4 hour lower high and a potential 4 hour higher low. Now, we broke this 4 hour support by $9. On a $20,000 instrument, I would call this a double bottom. So right now on NASDAQ, we have a double bottom. QQQ is not gapping down. Let me write this out. This helps me. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this for you. And I'm doing this for me to make sure that I stay clear on what's going on. SPY is, so currently we have SPY gapping down and we have QQQ not gapping down. If QQQ maintains its support, we could make a case that if QQQ maintains support, the SPY won't get very far. SPY won't get very far on its gap down if SPY is maintaining support. What will have a big impact on that? NVIDIA. Nope, that's not where I wanted to type NVIDIA. NVIDIA is currently gapping down by 3 pennies. Bulls want to see, so we broke bear from Friday's low yesterday, and now we're breaking the low of Monday. So our support is at 137.46. Let me see if I can just zoom in a little bit. Maybe I'm the only one that needs to see this a little bit closer, but we have an equilibrium on NVIDIA. So support's 137.46. We don't have NVIDIA earnings until November 20th. So we have a bit before NVIDIA earnings. This has a huge impact on SPY and QQQ. They are large holdings in SPY and QQQ. Speaking of large holdings, let me show you this. So our SPY top holdings are these 10 names: Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, yada, yada. So the only difference between SPY and QQQ top holdings are Berkshire and Costco. So Costco is part of QQQ and not part of SPY, and Berkshire is part of SPY, and yes, I said Berkshire. It's part of SPY and not part of QQQ. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. And the names that make up SPY and QQQ are approximately 50% of those ETF holdings. So we are heavily weighted in tech. That's why I go look at names like NVIDIA. That is QQQ's top holding, and it is SPY's third top holding. So that's why I'm constantly keeping a pulse on these high beta names that make up a large component of the market. Okay, let's look at the Russell. The Russell had a great, let's look at it on an IWM so you can see it. We broke over Friday's high on IWM, but not SPY was an inside bar there. QQQ was an inside bar. And Dow was an inside bar. Dow actually now on futures has a double daily inside bar, and it could be a daily bear flag. So the Russell was outperforming QQQ and SPY yesterday. What is it doing today? We've lost the hourly EMAs. And on the 4 hour, we're looking for a higher low compared to 221670. Hey, Ryan. Hey, how are you? Hope you're well. So the Russell has plenty of room for a 4 hour higher low. Is positioned better than most. You see how that 50 MA just clipped price? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 rejections here on the 4 hour for the Russell. Dow was set up for a potential inverse head and shoulders here, which if you saw a person with a head like this, you'd run. But the Dow needs to recover right here, right now, in order to save that potential pattern. We are in a 4 hour downtrend with a potential daily bear flag. A bear flag on any time frame, typically you have this extension to the downside, and then I like to call it like a dog leg, where you have this small dribble of a bounce where bulls are apathetic to buying. And typically in a bear flag, you're going to have bears covering, but very little buying by bulls. That is the standard for a bear flag. So we have double daily inside bars on the Dow and a potential daily bear flag, something to keep in mind going forward. What's McDonald's doing? McDonald's is on the move down on earnings. So last week they had the E. coli scare, not scare, it was an actual thing with the onions in Colorado. We had a daily inside bar yesterday, and we are breaking the low of the E. coli move down on McDonald's. And I think McDonald's is part of the Dow. Okay, I'm not finding it very quickly, so I'm going to move on. I say I'm going to move on. Let's see. Yes, McDonald's is number 7. So McDonald's is number 7 as far as holdings in the Dow, and United Healthcare is number 1. United Healthcare has been a very weak chart. So McDonald's is weighing on the Dow, and United Healthcare had a double daily inside bar break bear, but we held 560 yesterday. This will be a key chart going forward for the Dow to see if it can recover from this daily bear flag. VIX. Hey Brian, that stupid Autobot deleted your post because of the number of emojis, but I can see it. Hi. Hey John. You're in a gold long from yesterday. Hey Faden, I will cover MSTR. It's on my list today actually, so that's great. All right, so the VIX. The VIX, we have a pretty good bounce here. 2051 is resistance. And I usually set an alert right ahead of that resistance. I want to know if VIX is testing that. And we'll see if bears can defend 2051. If we were to exceed 2051, that would not be good for the market overall. Hang Seng and DAX are green overnight. Bitcoin was green, but it is losing some of its flair at the moment. 15-minute lower high anticipated on a bounce, and bulls, conservative bulls, can be waiting for a 15-minute oversold bounce back burner trade on Bitcoin. The question is Bitcoin a canary for the NASDAQ? Is Bitcoin kind of a shot across the bow saying, hey, we have an appetite for risk on, which is what Bitcoin is because it's a riskier asset. So we have an appetite for risk on, so should NASDAQ or could NASDAQ follow Bitcoin? So we're looking for back burners there. If you're looking for a crypto name to short, Ethereum, we're looking for a daily lower high compared to 276822. and hourly chart is overbought. So looking for a daily lower high with hourly overbought, this is typically where we start scouting that daily lower high. So Ethereum is definitely not positioned as well as Bitcoin. 1 second. All right, and feel free to share this YouTube link with any of your friends. This is something free that we do once a month. And also tagged here, pinned at the top of chat, volume profile. We have a free webinar this Thursday before you go trick-or-treating with Lamont. Lamont is the king of volume profile. He is one of the smartest dudes I know. I work with a lot of smart dudes, so this is something I will definitely be tuning into. Halloween is my birthday, but I will be spending my birthday with Lamont at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and here's that link, and it is free. Absolutely free. All right. Dollar has a pretty big bounce going, 4-hour higher high. We're getting over daily resistance. This weekly chart, I like to remind myself of this weekly chart. We are looking for a potential weekly lower high on the dollar, 104.799. However, these economic events that we have stacked up can absolutely impact the dollar, and typically does. So they can take out that 104.80 very easily. So we are looking for a weekly lower high, 4 hours overbought, and dailies overbought. That does not mean just step in and short. We need to see some sign of friends with us on the trade, bears, and there are no sign of bears right now on the dollar. Gold is green despite the dollar. We held the high of Friday, 275.830. We held it by 40 cents yesterday on a back test. John is in this. Daily inside bar bull break with a double top, 2772, 2770. Double top at the all-time high on gold. When I pause, I'm usually thinking, and it's difficult to think and talk. I'm just looking. See if this is a rising wedge. Rising wedges typically break bullish when you are at all-time highs. So we're at all-time highs with gold. So I'm just going to scrap that rising wedge idea. We do have a 4-hour squeeze, and we're holding up really well considering the dollar is on a tear. Potential 4-hour bull flag. Don't forget about jolts. Jolts will likely jolt the dollar and gold in one direction or another. So just stay agile. Hey, Joka. Hey, Ryan V. Thanks for the early birthday wish. Thank you. Oil. We have API estimates after hours at 4:30 Eastern today, and we have oil inventory at 10:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Just be aware of that. We are at the 4-hour 12 EMA getting an upper wick of profit taking. Let me look at a different. Yeah, I was seeing bear flag type behavior. We have a potential 12-hour bear flag. Let me hide those 4 C's. The 4 C's just mark off the prior day high, low, open, and closed for me. So right now we have a potential bear flag as long as we stay below 68.83 on the 12-hour for oil. We had news from the Middle East that impacted oil. We are looking for a weekly higher low. Potential 12-hour bear flag. 15-minute overbought conditions. I would say these are great conditions for a potential short on oil, and we are pulling back here at 28.52, 28.42. I'm putting on an oil short right now. I'm doing small position because I'm live and I missed that exact double top at 68.42. I'm doing QM futures, and I have my stop at 68.625. I missed you too, Swagger. I love the pregame show. We have been helping each other in the room with a hurricane that really wiped out part of our team. But we are chugging along in TCG fashion like we do. I'm answering a question for a member. I'm watching YouTube chat, but when we have TCG members asking me questions, I will always stop and answer. Thanks for your patience there. Good to see you, Michelle. I love this. I miss y'all terribly. Okay. So oil short is working. I have several contracts on. I'm going to take off one. And change my stop on the remainder. Okay. So oil short is working if you took that. It wiped out your home, Swagger. My prayers are with you. I'm so sorry to hear that. My heart just sunk right then. Okay. Nat gas is bouncing. We have contract rollover. Yeah, we had contract rollover. So that has a lot to do with what you see in nat gas. And it's up 23%, but that has a lot to do with contract rollover. This is still a pathetic chart. Hourly 12 EMA is overhead. It's hard to trade these during contract rollover because the percentages get all askew. So I would ignore that 23%. Hourly 12 EMA is still overhead. This is what I was watching going into yesterday and I missed it. I plotted this Sunday. And then I missed the overnight trade on nat gas. I didn't set my alert, and that's bad on me. But it was just such a clear uptrend here on nat gas that we lost. And I only do trend lines if my 7-year-old nephew could draw them. Like, they have to be super obvious. You're welcome, J Mac. Hey, Fuxie, you're a member? Hi. Hey, J Mac. All right. So we did nat gas. Let me do silver. Wow, this is a nice rounded bottom. And you have to think about the psychology of a rounded bottom. It's not like, oh, rounded bottom, it's bullish. It's bullish, but think about what's happening. And if you could stand my drawing, what's happening is bulls are buying the dip and they're doing a slow turn and burn. So they're doing a slow turn and burn saying, wait a minute, bears, not so fast. So we have a squeeze and a 4-hour rounded bottom on silver that is bullish. And we're bullish despite the dollar raging. So we have a daily inside bar breaking bullish on silver. We had a 50% retrace from the move from Thursday, October 17th to Wednesday, October 23rd. So a lower high is possible. It's not an automatic higher high because we got a 50% retrace. So just keep that in mind. You remember this? Oh, Chinese names are a bit stronger. Okay. I'm going to go post a ticker request thread for members real quick. I will answer ticker request thread, ticker request from members. And this is what I'm doing here. And members will just post their request here, and then I just go through them and they can ask for any ticker they want. All right, let's go over Apple. Apple is still gapping down by 4 pennies. We have earnings on Thursday after hours. So small gap down. Let's see if bulls can fight. We are at the hourly 50 EMA. If they can fight and support 23255 and prevent that gap up. On the daily, we are looking for a potential lower high compared to 23685. Amazon had a daily inside bar yesterday, and we are clinging on by the hair of our chinny chin chin, 2 pennies away from a gap down. We have earnings on Thursday after hours as well. And keep that in mind if you're trading options, because if with these earnings, we have the options are extremely juiced, meaning implied volatility is high. NVIDIA has this daily equilibrium. We are below the hourly EQs. We are gapping down. 138.45 is your support. Actually, let me delete that and then do my horizontal ray. So 138.45 is your support on the daily, and then the next support is down at 137.46, which is key to hold. Look at this 15-minute 12 EMA just pushing down price. Tesla is trying to get a bounce going. We are looking for a daily higher low. We had a bearish reversal candle yesterday, and bears are looking for confirmation of this bearish candle today for potential more incoming consolidation. One thing that stands out to me on Tesla is we're holding this hourly 50 EMA, which I like to call the Great Wall of Louisiana affectionately. We're holding that, and we're holding the low of yesterday. So we are not oversold on the hourly, and let's see, can I call this a bull flag? Potential 4-hour bull flag. We could get down to $250 and still be healthy from the earnings reaction on Tesla. We got a new 52-week high yesterday. We got over this 271, and your next resistance is 27393. Nope, not that one. That one. 27393. So let's call it 274 and then 279. Again, it's really standing out that we're holding this hourly 50 EMA on Tesla. Another trend line that's pretty obvious here. We typically like to connect the same colored candles. In this situation, I'm okay just marking this and saying, okay, we're losing this uptrend. Or you could just say your last support was at 262.11. We have to hold that going forward. All right. Where am I? Okay, I have a repeat of yesterday. I was watching Crowd daily 200 MA overhead. We closed with a daily inside bar. On the weekly, here I go again on my own. Watching this trend line on Crowd, we are looking for a monthly higher low. And we have a bearish diamond reversal pattern. Remember, Crowd had that, not leak, but they got infiltrated by some type of update. And it's going to cost them a lot of money through their insurance. So we are looking for a monthly lower high on Crowd, and that's why I'm picking on Crowd. Daily 200 MA rejection. And we were looking for a 4-hour lower high yesterday. So we'll see if bears can defend yesterday's low, 295.31, and Friday's low, 295.13. Next is DJT, which is on a tear as well. We got through 56.55 in pre-market, but it only counts during regular trading hours. So let's go mark up our resistance here. And after 56.55, we're looking at $60 and $61. I'm looking for a top fish on DJT. MSTR is on a tear. It's at an all-time high. So this is an all-time high. They own a boatload of Bitcoin, and they are benefiting from Bitcoin being up overnight. Turn my 4Cs back on. And so what we're watching is yesterday's high, which was 259.50. As long as that holds, bulls are in control. So I call this gap rules. If you're a TCG member, you can go to the website and on educational videos, just type in gap rules and you'll see that video. And rules say that as long as we're holding the prior day high as support, that is a long signal. We're pulling back right now. We are 5-minute oversold. It's not as important in after hours. It's more important during regular trading hours. So because the 5-minute oversold is happening during pre-market hours, I then shift to 15-minute oversold. So tell me when RSI hits 30 on the 15-minute, then that would be the back burner setup I would be watching for MSTR. Sorry about that sound. If you don't like aspartame, I'm sorry, but I can't drink coffee in the morning anymore, so I've shifted to Coke Zero, and I know it's not good for me. So please hold judgment. I do what I gotta do for the people and get my brain going. So MSTR, I'm watching for a back burner. ENPH, I'm picking on ENPH because we're looking for a daily lower high compared to 92.62. I'm acutely aware that this is an election related name, meaning if Kamala were to win, the clean energy names could see a lift. Right now, Trump is ahead of the polls, so that is impacting names like DJT. And I would assume Tesla could benefit from Trump winning because Elon's such a big supporter of Trump. So clean energy could see a hit if Kamala were to lose. And in my opinion, that's what's been happening with names like TAN, the solar ETF. TAN is at the daily 50 MA. This may be a better short idea. Looking for the daily lower high. I'm not counting this as a pivot here. We're at the daily 50 MA. We're looking for a weekly lower high. Let's see if a tan top fish can come in at 40.17. I'm going to set my alert for 40.16. I was watching Serve. Serve had a big day yesterday. Serve, you could get a back burner trade on Serve and on Sound. What is it doing this morning? Yes, Sound would be a back burner name. Look at the squeeze that it had. Look at that squeeze on the weekly. And if we go with the same thought process that it could have 6 to 8 bars of continuation, we fired here. So now 1, 2. So we could have up to 4 more weeks of bullish continuation on Sound. We have a potential 4-hour bull flag. Let me type that out in chat. Sound. Potential 4-hour bull flag. Hey TCG members, I will get to your names in a second, but since I was on TAN, Ryan, you know how I feel. And it's not a feeling. Trading is technical. If you're trading off emotions, you're probably not making money. So daily 50 MA is overhead. We're looking for a weekly lower high. And I could even make an argument for a potential head and shoulders on TAN. I'm going to bring TAN over here. I bring the names that I'm watching for active trades over. AMD is going for a gap up. AMD has earnings after hours. It's getting over this resistance of 160.44 in pre-market. So on AMD, the way to trade this is you're looking for the high of yesterday to hold as support, and that would be a long signal. MSTR, I'm looking for that 15-minute back burner trade on MSTR. Let me go through finish going through my names. MSTR, I'm looking for the 15-minute oversold, and I'm looking for yesterday's high to hold as support 259.50. That would be a long signal. ENPH would be a short idea. Looking for that daily lower high. Your top fish area could be 85.80, yesterday's intraday resistance. A more aggressive approach would be 84.85. Then finally, X. Trump has said that he would block, or he would attempt to block, an X deal for X to be bought by an Asian company. They have earnings this Thursday, so options are off the table. I like this one for a top fish setup with that daily 200 MA overhead and this clear trend line. You see I have an alert set right there on that trend line. And if you can set an alert trend line on a trend line, click the line, then right click, and then set an alert. It's the top one. All right. I'm annoying. Mal. The IV is super juiced on DJT. Hey, Michelle, on oil for futures, MCL is a micro oil contract, and QM is a mid oil contract, meaning it takes more margin and it's a little more expensive, and CL is a full oil contract. All right, where are we? We have 22 minutes till the market opens. Okay, I've gone through the names I like. Let me post crowd. Crowd, I'm looking at 297.50 puts. So I post a Thinkorswim chain in chat like that. I just posted it in YouTube chat so you can see what it looks like. And if you're on Thinkorswim or Schwab, you can copy this and put it in your active trader and be ready for the trade. Okay. I cannot move this. Okay, there it goes. Wow. Okay. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so trading view, I'm watching crowd. I really like tan short. Let me see what tan options look like. I will be watching the 39 puts. You're welcome, Michelle. All right, now, so tan I like short, potential hourly head and shoulders, looking for the daily lower high at the daily 50 MA. Okay, Neo. Neo is not gapping up. We're right below yesterday's high, 603. 4 hour is overbought. Looking for a weekly lower high with 4 hour overbought. This is typically where we look for the top fish setup. As long as yesterday's, sorry about my nose, as long as yesterday's high holds, this could be a top fish setup against 603. NNE. So NNE had a big move. We're looking for a daily lower high. Weekly uptrend. Daily uptrend, yet looking for a daily lower high. Hourly got overbought. yesterday, you're looking for a top fish against 22.49. Looking for that daily lower high. I will do as many names as I possibly can. Pinky promise. And I did get filled on my oil short cover on one of my contracts. I have several left. Okay, CYFRF. Wow, so 4 times or the normal volume yesterday. Financial conglomerate, that normally means it is a, what do you call that? I'm having a brain fart. Thought it started with a C. And they're at $10. Anyway. This is a beautiful move up. This is over the counter. It had a pretty big move down yesterday. It gave a lot back. The Bears will be looking to top fish yesterday, $1.60. What the heck happened with this name? It looks like it had some type of news to dump that. That is a huge dump. Bears would feel more comfortable top fishing $1.60 than bulls. So we've made enough room for an hourly higher low. But first, bears will be looking to top fish $1.60. So if you're going to sequence this out, which I like to do just to get my brain straight. If you were to just put, here. What's going to happen first? What's the more probable scenario? An hourly lower high, then an hourly higher low. So this odds favor the lower high would come first. This is such an exaggerated example that the lower high would come first and the higher low would come second. So you're looking short initially as far as odds, and then you'd be looking for a higher low compared to $1.10. That was a very nice recovery. I don't know what the news was on it yesterday that made it dump. This is not a S-pack. Dang it. Trying to think of that word. Yeah, top fish first and then a bottom fish second. Interesting name, Tim. SMCI. I'll get to YouTube chat in just a second. Sound, I went over. You're looking at a back burner on sound. SMCI, we finally got over the daily 50 MA. We're looking for a daily potential lower high compared to 50.61. You have earnings next Monday per Trading View. This could be a 2-hour head and shoulders. Be careful. We are below the hourly 12 EMA. An aggressive bull is looking for a bottom fish of a conservative bull, aggressive, is looking for a bottom fish on 47.28. I think the safer bet would be top fishing $48 because we are below the hourly 50 MAs. If you're in long, I'd stay in long as the low of yesterday holds. MSTR, I've gone over a couple times. We're looking for a potential pullback buy to yesterday's high. And I'm waiting for first 15-minute oversold conditions during regular trading hours for a potential long. Coins, do you stay away from it short? We are gapping up above this resistance 22026. I would have one eye on Bitcoin for sure. You are gapping up, gap rules apply. As long as the high of yesterday holds, that is a long signal. If something like this happens, Fiona, let me draw this out. If we were to gap up and then move back into yesterday's range and yesterday's high hold as resistance, then that would be a top fish. So that would happen a little bit later in the morning, where the first trade is watching for yesterday's high to hold as support for a long signal. The second trade would be waiting for it to penetrate yesterday's range and use yesterday's high as resistance. mRNA. Oh, I did coin, it was 227. 22710, Fiona. Let me delete all this and then draw that. 22710, mRNA. We're still below the 12 EMA. We did have elevated volume. That's good for bulls. Earnings next week. 4 hour has made enough room for a higher low. We're opening up inside yesterday's range. Your intraday support that you could use for a dip buy would be 54.17, looking for that 4 hour higher low. Nice 4 hour squeeze firing bullish. So a dip buy compared to 54.17 could work. You are still below the daily 12 EMAs. 12 EMA, not EMAs. Microsoft has earnings Wednesday after hours. We are opening up at yesterday's low. We're in a daily uptrend. We're in a weekly uptrend. Bulls really want to see 42630 hold. We have a small gap down at the moment. Watch your options. They're going to be juiced because of earnings. So Microsoft is weak. Still in a daily uptrend, and your support is 42240. And you have a gap here. Let's see, 42598. 42598 would fill that gap. I like to set alerts, 598. If that gap fills, that could be a long area for Microsoft. If that alert goes off, I'll be watching it. MNMD for my friend John. Wow, nice candle yesterday. 677 is your resistance. You have earnings next Thursday. Weekly, you're below the 26 EMA and the 50 EMA. You're fighting. 677 is the level to get over. 10% move yesterday. I would keep this one on back burner watch. We've re-entered yesterday's range. First 5 minute oversold or 15 minute oversold during regular trading hours is what I would be watching. I'm going to split the difference and do a 10-minute alert on this one. I don't trade all these alerts. I post most of them in the room when I get them just to help members out. I take the trade if I like it and if I don't have a lot of other trades on. Okay, oil gains are stacking up. I'm going to take one more off. And change my stop on the remaining. I'm covering more at 67.80. Nice breakdown on oil. On the next bounce, bears will be looking for a 15-minute lower high. If you missed that trade early on, we have a potential 12-hour bear flag. Potential 12-hour bear flag. And 15-minute got overbought. So I took the short right here on this candle. You're welcome. Puts. Oh, thank you, deal. I love when y'all help me out. Okay, let me do that again. I appreciate that. I clicked on the wrong one. Puts. I did Neo earlier. Neo, you're looking for a top fish. Here's the crowd. Actual. Let me fix my active trader. Yep, open house, Ricky Rick. Open to the public once a month. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, CPNG. I'll get to YouTube requests in just a minute. I gotta finish with members. 26.28, 26.27, double top. Earnings next Tuesday. Weekly uptrend. That is a clear top fish as long as 26.28 holds as resistance. And when I say clear top fish, right now bulls have momentum. We do have an upper wick of profit taking at that double top. And what I'm thinking is risk to reward. Your risk to reward is aligned with that 26.28 double top because you're risking a few pennies to possibly get 50 cents to the downside. So the closer it can get to 26.28, it would be a more favorable top fish. 26.10 is your after hours level you could also use. Yeah, this is a top fish setup with that double top and the upper wick of profit taking yesterday. CGC. Opening up near the low of yesterday, daily uptrend, weekly downtrend, earnings next week. We got lots of earnings for our MJ and psychedelic names. Looking for a daily higher low. 4 hour holding the 12 EMA just fine. That's a good sign. Hourly, we're holding the 50 EMA. A bottom fish against 525 makes sense. I like that we're holding the hourly 50 EMA and the 4 hour 12 EMA. Daily RSI is approaching overbought, looking for a weekly lower high. Bears are licking their chops here. Bulls are looking for a bottom fish against 525. If you're a bear, I'd be waiting for a closer top fish. You could use the intraday level of 550. Lily. Hey Danny, I know it's been so long. I'm doing wonderful. My mom is sick, so if you have any extra prayers to throw out her way, I'd appreciate it. Lily, hourly 50 MA. Alan, what is going on? Okay, we have earnings. Tomorrow morning, we have a daily inside bar. We're looking for a weekly high or low on Lily. Daily potential bear flag. Not a good look. We're over the hourly 50 MA. 901, 901. Get over it. And then we could start talking about potential longs, but we still have this daily bear flag to contend with. Inside bar yesterday, we're opening up inside yesterday's range. In Neo, I went over. We're looking for a weekly lower high. 4 hours overbought. That's typically where we start looking for that weekly lower high. And we're opening up inside yesterday's range. I'd be looking for a top fish against 603. Kathleen is my mom's name. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate that. Kathleen, and that's my daughter's middle name. I am very partial to the name Kathleen, and she's an amazing woman. Okay, I got through all the chart requests for TCG. Now let me go back up on YouTube. The chat is pretty busy this morning, which is wonderful. But I'm a little backed up on requests. TLT. Market opens in 3 minutes. TLT is gapping down. TLT will likely be impacted by the economic headlines this week. We're losing the weekly 50 MA. Looking for a potential monthly high or low. Weekly downtrend. Daily downtrend. We do have a little bullish divergence on RSI. RSI is making a higher low while price made a lower low on the daily. RSI divergence is not enough reason to buy. You have support here at 90.58. If you wanted to go for a long, looking for the monthly high or low on 90.58 and then stop out quickly if you're wrong, I could see why you would do that. But just buying to buy, there's no sign yet or signal. Okay. Yeah, DJT. I think that you would be better off selling call spreads on DJT so you could collect premium versus buying puts directionally. The puts could still work if we have a big dump. Oh, right there. Okay. We are still not inside yesterday's range. We still have a gap up. As long as we're holding yesterday's high, that is a long signal. Bulls are looking for oversold conditions during regular trading hours. We're approaching 5-minute oversold here. But we're not there yet, and it's not regular trading hours. I think I did silver, but let's do the ETF. Nice rounded bottom, gapping up, gap rules apply. As long as yesterday's high holds as support, that is a long signal. You really want dollar to sit down in order for this to work. A daily lower high is possible compared to 3180, but right now we're breaking this double daily inside bars to the bulls, 3180 resistance. Fat N, did you have another request? Oh, SE. Yeah, I looked at this one this weekend. I have an alert set for it to possibly break that trend line. Monthly looks great. Uptrend. Weekly uptrend. Daily uptrend. We are gapping down as long as yesterday's high. Okay, we're opening up. Open the casino. As long as yesterday's low holds as resistance, that is a short. Now, I am going to, SE is breaking that trend line right now. Crowd is gapping up. I'm moving that off my list. Tan is on the way down, but I want to bounce to short. ENPH. Crowd. It's not getting through yesterday's high. Pull it back over. There goes ENPH. Crowd, I'm looking short here. We still got a wonky options pricing, big spread. Okay. I'm short crowd. DJT is dumping. If you missed the short, you're looking for a bounce to short on DJT. X is moving to the downside. ENPH short is working. X is moving to the downside. We're holding yesterday's low. I got that alert that we're crossing this trend line here on the daily. I want it to break yesterday's low. Has earnings this week. So options will be a little more expensive. Tesla's breaking the low of yesterday. Because of that bounce, we cooled off RSI. Nvidia is getting interesting. Microsoft, I want it to fill that gap. Tan short idea is working well, but I did not take it. Big break on SE. Watching that trend line that I accidentally deleted. You would be looking for a bounce to short on SE. VIX is crossing that 2051 area. We are at resistance on VIX. We have data in 25 minutes. Crowd, you little jerk. There goes that Nvidia bounce. NVIDIA is bouncing enough for a 2-minute higher low. TAN, I missed that trade. ENPH, I missed that trade. AMD earnings after hours. QQQ gap down is holding. Your resistance is 495.10, yesterday's low. We have SPY on the move down. So now QQQ and SPY have broken yesterday's low. Daily inside bar bear break. Support 58.35 is coming in hot here. On the 12-hour, 58.35. Let's see if bulls can defend it. NASDAQ. You've lost 4-hour support. I'm trying to find a time frame that makes sense. Bear with me. 8-hour, we're looking for a higher low compared to 20261. QQQ, potential 2-minute bear flag. SPY, no bear flag yet, just dumping. We are still at resistance on VIX. If VIX holds this resistance, that could be good for the market for a bounce. We have IWM leading to the downside as far as our ETFs, our big ones. XLV is green, QQQ slightly green. As far as our high beta names, we have Google standing out and Tesla standing out. This is super important here for VIX to hold this resistance. We could get a market bounce if VIX holds this. Apple defended the low of yesterday. AMD, potential 2-minute bear flag. IWM breaking the low of yesterday, weak. LAC, my goodness. We held the high of yesterday, 425, and a big bounce. Meta is weak, potential bear flag. Microsoft, we have filled the gap. Now we're looking for a daily higher low. Crowd, I will stop out if we break the high of yesterday. DJT held the high of yesterday on the back test. Plenty of room for a 2-minute higher low on DJT. Really good look on VIX holding that resistance. SMCI, beautiful bounce. Plenty of room for a 2-minute higher low. NVIDIA, can we get a 2-minute higher low compared to 139 is the question. Yeah, I got those alerts on cost. What is it doing? Potential bear flag. 4-hour is approaching oversold. Lost daily support. Weekly higher or low possible compared to 867. Double daily inside bar is breaking bear on Costco. I like Costco long. Let's see if we can get that weekly higher low. Crowd continues to bounce. Stop is 305. 305.15. I always give it a little room, especially on a bigger instrument like this. DJT, you have a 1 minute stair step. NVIDIA breaking the low of day by 11 cents. 138.46 is your next support. MSTR, we broke the low of the high of yesterday in a minuscule way. We've made enough room for a 2 minute higher low now compared to the low of day. Bulls will be looking for a bottom fish compared to 256.50. Bears are looking for a top fish compared to 266. Again, Google is standing out. Google has made enough room for a 2 minute higher low on a pullback. Okay, NVIDIA, they're buying this dip as if it's a double bottom. I like the NVIDIA 140 calls. Stop below low of day. Trying to go back and chat. Sound is a back burner trade setup. 5 minute got oversold, and we're bouncing. 15 minute oversold's the next back burner trade setup on Sound. Hey, Jay Stevens in Montana. ONDOUSD, Coinbase. Daily higher high, rejecting at the daily 50 MA. Weekly equilibrium. Yeah, I'd call that a double bottom. Hourly EQ support 71347, holding the hourly 12 EMA. Plenty of room for a 4 hour higher low on a pullback. Hey, Ed. Lusmar, my crystal ball is in the shop. I don't know how metals will be impacted. They will likely be impacted. If the dollar goes on a rager, that could be bad for metals and vice versa. LMT. Yeah, that's a pretty big gap down. You would think that defensive names would be benefiting from Trump leading in the polls, and that's not the case. We're looking for a weekly higher low on LMT. That's a big upper wick of profit taking and bearish candle on the monthly is forming. That still has a few days before it closes. We are oversold on the daily, looking for a weekly higher low. This is where typically we start looking for it. 4 hour is really beat up at historical bounce area. Let's see, where's your next support? 550, 24, 54791, 54791. This could be a great long. Daily oversold, looking for a weekly higher low. This could be a good one. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'll watch that one. I miss you, Jessica. Okay. Wow, Lily did it. It sure did. Now you're looking for a 5 minute higher low on Lily. That looks great. Looks really good, Travis. XLB. Rob, I'm just saying what I see. I'm the least political person you'll ever meet. So, and I definitely don't want to make this any political. show. We have 5-minute inside bars. Broke the low of yesterday. We're at the daily 50 MA. Weekly triple bottom at the daily 50 MA. 93.80 is where I'd be looking to bottom fish this. 2-minute EQ. You could put your stop right below $94 to keep it tight. If you wanted an aggressive approach, you could put your stop at 93.80. Gold all-time highs. Tan is being contained by VWAP. I would say at this point bounces are for shorting on tan. Crowd is not falling apart yet. DJT testing low of day. Nvidia, I'm going to take some of those calls off that I bought. 20% profit. We have enough room for a 2-minute higher low. We got a 2-minute higher high. We have data in 12 minutes. Crowd I'm stopped out of. We got through yesterday's high. DJT is bouncing from yesterday's high. We're getting a little bounce here. Right off yesterday's high. Bulls are defending. DJT, nice bounce from yesterday's high. Moving crowd off the watch list. Google has plenty of room for a 2-minute higher low. LMT is still falling. Microsoft, look where it bounced right from that gap, fell at 42598. We filled the gap and then had that nice bounce. That was a trade setup I was looking for. PLTR is testing yesterday's low right now. It could be a top fish against $45. Roblox has earnings on Thursday, and I'm looking at this one for a weekly lower high, daily 50 MA overhead. I would look to top fish this against 42.24. What was that other one? SE. SE, great short on that one if you took it. Look at that. SMH is testing the high of yesterday. We just set a 2-minute higher low. SoFi dumping on earnings. TAN still below VWAP. Tesla still below the low of yesterday. And again, we can't look for those back burners after this big move up because the back burner happened during after hours and now we cooled off RSI, which is good for bears. X is testing the low of yesterday, still pretty weak. I'm still long Nvidia. Let's look at the sectors. Just bear with me if you're new to my sector map. So we have XLK, so they are in the highest weighting starting here to the lowest weighting here, top 6, and then I'll watch Apple and semis. So here on XLK, we have a 2-minute uptrend. XLF is sideways. XLV is sideways. A little 2-minute uptrend. XLY, which is consumer discretionary, is below VWAP, 2-minute downtrend. XLI industrials, we are fighting VWAP, and communications is above VWAP. Apple, we're looking for a 2-minute higher low, but on a bounce, a 2-minute lower high. That was a pretty big pullback on Apple. And then semiconductors are looking good. That makes me want to go look at XLV. XLV, we're looking for a monthly higher low. Daily didn't quite get oversold. We broke yesterday's low by 11 cents. It's just been a slow dribble down. Hourly EMAs are still overhead. Bulls are struggling a bit. XLF, 2-minute EQ. Plenty of room for an hourly higher low compared to yesterday. This could very well be an inside bar day. We'll see if we can get through 47.25. What's JPM doing? Yeah, it's invalidated on crowd. My idea is invalidated. So JPM set a new all-time high this morning and it's giving it up. Big pullback, 5-minute lower high anticipated on a bounce. My idea is invalidated on crowd. We're still looking for a monthly higher low. Daily got overbought. Daily got overbought back here. And maybe that was the better idea, looking for that monthly lower high. Your resistance is 311.35. On the daily 200 MA is overhead. What's next? Resistance on mRNA. Great trade, Fiona. Next resistance is 58.45. Healthcare is trying to recover. Great move on mRNA. Beautiful move on Lilly. DJT bears will be looking for a 2-minute lower high compared to 54.30. 54.30 is your top fish level on DJT. Data in 5 minutes. ACHR. Big move down. Couldn't get through the high of yesterday, 343. We double topped at 342. Earnings next week. Big rejection. Huge. Hourly lower high is possible compared to yesterday's low. And bears will be looking for a top fish for a 15-minute lower high. SCPH. The volume on this, only 13,000 shares traded today. Very difficult to trade. Remember, you have to have someone to buy from and sell from. So, or sell to, I should say. Daily inside bar. Earnings next week. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole, not even my ex-mother-in-law's money. Yeah, tough to do technical analysis with this type of volume. Daily inside bar. You're welcome, Chris. You have a blessed day. LMT ran. That was such a good idea. You have room for a 2-minute higher low on a pullback. Is Costco bouncing yet? Yeah, Costco's bouncing. NVDA, I'm going to take a little more profit. $279 entry, and I'm getting out at $325. Actually, I have it set for $330. Let's see if I get filled. Yep, $330. $279 to $330 on NVIDIA. Looking for that daily higher low. UEC. So got a winner on NVIDIA and oil and a loser on crowd. UEC, beautiful bounce. Looking for the weekly higher low. Bouncing from the hourly 50 MA. You have enough room for a 5-minute higher low. The way you could play this is look for 808 kick drum to possibly hold and then take a long from that. This isn't a gap, but just using yesterday's high as a support level for a potential long. This looks good. Data in 2 minutes. Okay, I would anticipate a little market shakeup here on jolts. Watch your orders. Looking at VIX, did we hold 2051? Look at that. Look at that hold on VIX. And that provided the bounce. Y'all saw that real time, me calling that out. I set an alert for VIX at 2051. 1988 was yesterday's high. Let's see if that holds as support. Big rejection here on the 4-hour. Look at that upper wick of profit taking. So I'm down to 20% on NVIDIA, and I'm comfortable going into jolts with that. Two-minute lower high is set on DJT. Now let's see if bulls can defend the low. Bears can defend. No, bulls can defend the low of day. All right, let's look at the market. Here we go. 20 seconds. Where are we? Nice long lower wick of bulls buying the dip. VIX topped out and SPY bottom. That's what we'd like to see. Using our correlations for an edge. We have enough room for a 5-minute higher low on a pullback. Daily support of 58.35 held. All right, let's see what the data is. Got a doji candle right now, indecision. Pulling back. I'm looking for the news right now, what the data was. Job openings were a little bit lower. Job openings were weak. That's typically a bad news is good news thing. Let's see how the market interprets it. We can never predict. Looking at the economic calendar. Consumer confidence hasn't populated yet, but job openings were less than what was forecast. That's a bad news is good news thing. That means that what the feds are doing is working and they could possibly look at other cuts. We'll see if they do that, but All right, back to charts. We topped out at yesterday's low on SPY. Yesterday's low is acting as resistance now on SPY. That is not a good look. That's typically where we look to short. So the high of day, 580.46. The low of yesterday, 580.52. Could be a top fish area. We have enough room for a 5-minute high or low. Let's see what bulls can do with this, if anything. CGC, okay. Bulls are going for it. 580.52 is your resistance. CGC looks good. We held the low of yesterday. Daily inside bar. Daily inside bar, typically we get some misdirection on shorter term time frames as bulls and bears probe for liquidity. 546 is your high of day. We're testing now. Then we're looking up at 550 and then 564. I would be a more comfortable bear at 550 top fishing this. Because a weekly lower high is the more likely scenario. Grab. Daily inside bar, daily uptrend, weekly uptrend, monthly uptrend. Four-hour is sideways. Still neatly inside yesterday's range. 15-minute inside bars, 5-minute equilibrium. We have a shelf overhead at 418. When I say shelf, do you see these little wicks right here? We got a big block at 418 we need to get through, then 419. And you can kind of see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stops there by the bears. Bulls are fighting to get through this big order overhead. Let's see how many shares are there. I can show you. They're eating through it right now. Right there, you see that 1133? That is, if I can do my math, is that 1 million? Or 100,000? 110,000 shares sitting at 418. And we're eating through it right now. So you can see that big order. And I didn't have to go look at the order book to see that. You see it? We're eating through it. Nope, they keep stacking the bid. We're at 1,400 now. So 418 is the level on grab. You're welcome. CEG. CEG, 5-minute EQ. Daily, 262.61. Daily downtrend. Weekly looks good. Really good. We broke this 262 support by 30 cents. Bulls are buying the dip as if that was a double bottom. So 5-minute EQ, weekly looks great. Hourly, we're looking for a lower high on a bounce. Bears will be looking for a lower high due to the size of this pullback. You're welcome, you're welcome. Let me see if anybody else needs anything else. Let's go look at SPY again. SPY is testing the low of yesterday. On a bounce, we're still looking for a 4-hour lower high compared to yesterday's high. Nice candle forming here. We have 2 more hours on this candle to see if we can get a hammer. MC hammer time to see if they can hold this dip buying. Right now it looks great. 5-minute high or low. Still possible on a pullback. QQQ bouncing. Nice squeeze on QQQ on the 15-minute. Getting over the hourly EMAs, and we're well over yesterday's low. So now bulls have made enough room for a 5-minute higher low. Let's see if we can hold yesterday's low as support now. DJT. A little 2-minute EQ below the 2-minute 12 EMA. The 2-minute 12 EMA becomes your spirit guide now. As long as the 2-minute 12 EMA is overpriced, bears are in control. Anybody need anything before I wrap up? TCG? I forget that I'm showing my face. I hope I'm not picking my nose or anything. I'm not looking at the video, so okay, I'll pick my nose a little bit. How about that? Good morning, Eddie. You're welcome. I put on a top, but I still have on my pajama bottoms. I was thinking about next year doing pajama trading instead of the pregame show. Do pajama trading where I show up every morning in my wild print pajamas. DJT needs to get over 51.81. I still have 20% of NVIDIA. Bitcoin had that back burner. It fired for a second and then it lifted. I know I didn't make that up. Bulls are buying dips here. Look at that 5-minute back burner. Plenty of room for 5-minute higher low. You have an epic day, shake and bake. Hey, Alice. Oh, that's nice. John, that's very nice of you. I threw on a headband, dirty hair day. It's hair washing day. EXC, we're at the daily 50 MA and a daily downtrend, looking for a weekly higher low. 4-hour downtrend, hourly downtrend, gap down. 15-minute inside bars, going sideways below the 5-minute 12 EMA. It's pretty bearish right now. But we are at the daily 50 MA, 39.58. No, thank you. You like PJ trading? B-I-J-Y. You're welcome, John. B-I... Bigly. Oh, that's... Okay. You're just saying bigly. All right. Bitcoin is going... Let's look at the Dow. Dow, we still have daily inside bars. 4-hour 12 EMA acting as resistance. 15 minutes made enough room for a higher low on the Dow. In oil, I still have a few contracts left. We are looking for 30-minute lower high on a bounce. You're welcome. Rum is back inside yesterday's range. It is loosely affiliated with DJT as far as Reddit and how people view it. You're looking for an hourly lower high on a bounce. You're looking for a 5-minute lower high on a bounce. MU, last one. I hear my groceries outside. 5-minute higher low is expected on a pullback due to the size of the bounce. We have a daily equilibrium very similar to NVIDIA. Not the same, but similar. Weekly inside bars. Broke the low of yesterday. Bulls are trying to recover. Plenty of room for a 5-minute higher low. Tesla. And then this is the last one. Okay, Tesla, we're below yesterday's low. 255.32 is your next support. We're looking for a daily higher low. 4-hour 12 EMA is holding fine on Tesla. Keep that in mind. 4-hour 12 EMA is holding fine. On the next bounce, bears are looking for a 15-minute lower high compared to the high of day. 2-minute downtrend. Okay, I lied. I'm going to do one more. Baba. Downtrend, I can't stand all the gaps it has. We're looking for a daily lower high. We gapped up and gave it back. Now bears are looking for a top fish. You could use yesterday's high as a level to top fish against. Big dump. I'd look for a bounce to short. All right, now I'm done. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for understanding. We had some staffing issues or coverage issues with the hurricane hitting our Asheville peeps. I appreciate it. I love being here, and stay tuned to the YouTube channel and what we got coming down the pipe or the pike or the whatever it is. Right here we have the volume profile link for Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern with Lamont. He is a genius at volume profile. I will be sitting there with bated breath. Cannot wait to watch that. I'm going to wrap up. Thank y'all so much, and give it a like and give me a follow on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, at ChartGal Lori. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. TCGers, I'm going to take about a 3-minute break and put my groceries up, and I'll be right back for anything that you need. Thank you, Paula, Michelle, Short Bus, Mark, Lucas. We do the market open live every morning in TCG. All right. Thank y'all so much. Have a good day.